Hello and welcome. Thanks everyone for joining us so far. We're just going to give everyone a few more minutes to come in and get settled in, and then we'll launch straight into it. Only got one person dropping in their location so far. So feel free to let us know where you're joining from. We would love to take a world tour with you. Nice. Whoa, we got some nice variation here. A few different continents represented. Cool. Nice to have you all. All right, what's 2 minutes over? So I'm going to get us started. Thank you everyone for joining us today for our webinar of our latest 47 release. We're joined here today with Luis Arakaki, who's on our product team here at Metabase, and Ryan Laurie, who helped build this thing. So 2 experts in this area. And myself, I'm Jess. I'm the product marketing manager here at Metabase. So I'll just start us off with a few housekeeping kind of things. Most of you probably by now are familiar with the chat. So feel free to drop in comments in there. If you have questions, please use the questions tab just so that we don't lose track of them or they don't get lost in the chat. We've got a couple of polls going, so make sure that you drop by that little area and have your say there as well. We would love to hear how you found Metabase and what you're using it for. And finally, drop in a react. That's in the bottom bar in the middle there. Just throw an emoji if you're into it at any point. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to hand us over to Ryan, who's going to show us a demo of some of the cool stuff that's included in Metabase 47.
Hey there, folks. I'm Ryan Laurie. I'm on our engineering team at Metabase, and I would love to just show you some of the cool new things we've put in Metabase 47. To start us off, I think my personal favorite thing that we've put in Metabase 47 is the ability to upload CSVs directly to your Metabase instance. So here I've just got a few different CSVs that I'm just going to click and drag right into my browser window, and they're going to upload directly into the collection where I drag them. My California housing data here, this is 20,000 rows that processed in a couple seconds. It went straight into my local Postgres database, and it really is as simple as that. In order to enable this, you'll simply go in your admin settings. We have a new little uploads tag here, and you can select the database, and you can even select a schema or add a prefix to uploaded tables to try to keep your database a little organized. This is also locked behind certain permissions that anyone who needs to upload will need to have permissions to the upload schema as well as permissions on the collection they're uploading to. But yeah, just a really easy way to get a lot of data into Metabase. One other great little quality of life feature we've added that works really nice with CSV uploads, I'd like to show you here. So we've created this model. This is the Pokédex, the complete list of all Pokemon. If we edit our model metadata, we have some image URLs here. And if we tell Metabase that we would like to see those as images, and then we save our model metadata. Now, when we go into our detail view, we can actually get image previews right here in Metabase. Just a nice little quality of life thing that we hope people will use to great effect as they upload lots and lots more data into Metabase via CSV. that's kind of a curiosity. I'd love to kind of walk you through a real world scenario that I would have loved to have a few years ago with CSV uploads. So at an old job I had, at the end of the year, we would get a list of our top customers. I have a kind of sample list here of top customers. And we'd want to send our best customers gifts at the end of the year. So my boss would hand me a spreadsheet, something like this, that would say, hey, for any of our customers, we'd like to send everyone a thank you email. But anyone who paid us up to $5,000, we'll mail them a thank you card. Anyone who paid us up to $15,000, we would like to send a gift basket. And anyone who paid us over $15,000, we'll send them a basket full of wine. And what's really powerful about being able to upload even a simple CSV like this into Metabase is we can join it with data that's already in our database. So I've got this customer data collection, and we will upload our year-end gifts CSV right into here. Actually, we've got two of those. We'll have just one. And here we go. Here's that CSV. It's now in Metabase. What I'm going to do is create a new question. And I am going to start with that top customers question, but I'm going to join it to my newly uploaded CSV. That was in customer data and year-end gifts. We'll make this an inner join. A little bit complicated join here. We're going to say the sum of all their payments needs to be greater than the minimum, and the sum of all their payments needs to be less than or equal to the maximum column in that year-end gifts. And then you'll see that we actually successfully joined that little CSV onto all of our customer data, and we've successfully figured out in a matter of seconds who should get what gift. I think that's a lot more useful than something you'd do in Excel. Let's clean this question up a little bit before we save it. We actually don't even need to see how much they paid there. Maybe we want to give this to someone in the mail room to just kind of send out gifts. So we'll select just the columns we need. We've got just the customer email and the gift they get. And we will call this customer gifts 2023. We will put this in our customer data collection. We won't add this to a dashboard just yet. I think I'd actually like to make one more question based on this data. Let's just make a simple little pie chart. Where's my pie? There we go. And we just want to summarize by gift and see kind of the breakdown of who got what gift. We will even put some labels on the chart. Beautiful. So we'll save this as a new question, and we will call it customer gifts breakdown. Nice. We'll come back to this in a little bit. But right now, I would love to turn to some features we've added to dashboards. So I've created a little dashboard here called 2020 or year-end 2023. And this is kind of from our hypothetical company data. I've created some kind of year-end metrics that I'd love to share with my whole company. So I've got kind of a revenue trend chart. I've got a breakdown by our active subscriptions by company, and I have all of these kind of key performance indicators, and also some link cards here to the underlying data. We've added some nice new features to kind of help make our dashboards a little more organized. So if I go into editing, one thing those of you who have used our dashboards a lot will notice that we've made our dashboards a lot more granular. Instead of having 16 tiles wide, we now have 24. So you just get a much finer degree of control over how your cards look and how big or small they are. That's a quality of life improvement we've heard a lot of requests for. One other thing that I find really helps in organizing dashboards and giving people context is we have a simple new little heading card. So I'm going to actually add a few of these, and we're just going to break our dashboard down into a few little sections. We'll call this, 2023, performance. We'll call this section, key performance indicators, and we'll call this section underlying data. There's not a whole lot to these, but they actually add a lot of kind of power and flexibility to how we organize our dashboards. So you'll notice that we have this kind of things consolidate upwards behavior to a lot of our cards. But with headings, we can just organize all of our key performance indicators under a particular heading and just make that a lot easier to see. So now we don't have things floating to the top when we want them all together. So we can make a nice little chunk of key performance indicators without them floating around. And then our underlying data section, we can kind of left align these things if we like. And voila, we have, maybe not the most beautiful dashboard. That's my own fault. But we have just much better tools to organize what we're dealing with here. A couple other nice features we have around sharing data in dashboards is with just a click here, we can export our whole dashboard as a PDF. So I've got this year-end 2023 PDF, and right here I have a one-page PDF that I can print out or email or send via Slack to anyone who maybe doesn't have a Metabase login or doesn't want to log into Metabase to see all this information. So real easy way to export a dashboard there. One other cool way to share dashboards, if I go back to my Metabase homepage, Metabase admins will have this little customize link. And via this, they can choose any dashboard in the Metabase instance to set as the Metabase homepage for all users. So now I can, as you can see, if I go to my homepage, it actually takes me to that year-end 2023 dashboard. So I can be sure that anyone who logs into my Metabase instance will be presented with this information. Internally at Metabase, we use this to give people constant access to kind of our key performance indicators, as well as links to important data that our data team thinks that most people would want to access regularly. So that's a nice quality of life improvement. If I want to go back to the regular Metabase homepage, which is nice and pretty and I still like, we'll look in our general tab here and you'll just see this custom homepage section. We can either change the dashboard or we can disable it, and we've got our regular homepage back. Going back to our year-end 2023 dashboard, one other tool that we have added in order to help organize dashboards more is the ability to add tabs to dashboards. This is great for organization beyond headings. It's also really great for performance because we only run queries for questions that are on the active tab. So if you have some pretty heavy query cards on a secondary tab, those queries won't be run until someone goes there. To go back to our year-end gifts kind of hypothetical, maybe we want to call our first tab something like, summary. But maybe there's a few people in the company that actually do want to be tracking some things around gifts. We can add those questions we created earlier. We've got our year-end gifts model. Oh, actually, that's our uploaded CSV. Here, customer gifts 2023. That's the question we created. And we've even got our customer gifts breakdown here. So yeah, with just a couple clicks, we can have two different tabs in our dashboard with kind of two groupings of information. one more improvement we've made to dashboards is another improvement along performance lines. A lot of people have kind of heavy queries that run on dashboards. Maybe they're connected to a data warehouse that kind of has expensive per query costs. We've added the ability to change how queries or filters are applied. So right now I have this filter that filters most of my cards around which plan my customers are on. So if I click business plan, suddenly all my revenue and all my or most of my key performance indicators will only look at customers on our business plan. If we're looking at millions of rows or something, I might have multiple filters, or I might change my mind before I run the filter. I can unactivate the auto apply filters option here. And then when I change my filter, I will get this apply button that lets me make a few changes, make sure I have my filters right. Maybe I want basic and premium, and then I can apply that filter and then run all the queries. Especially for larger tables, this is just a massive performance improvement that we hope people enjoy. I'll turn that back on. One tiny little optimization here. If you look at my key performance indicators, we have this one question that has my share of accounts on our basic plan. Now, if you'll notice, if I select something like business, that question's no longer relevant. We just get a nice little empty sailboat. But there, in some cases, I think like this, we actually don't even want to see this anymore. So we can simply hide this card if there are no results. So now when I look at all plans, I see the share of accounts on basic plan. But if I'm looking at just business plans, that card will disappear and the cards will reflow so that you don't see irrelevant cards anymore. Yeah, so that is kind of a quick demo of some of the best new top-line features in Metabase 47. We are really eager to see how people enjoy them and see their thoughts. So thanks a lot. We'd love to hear any questions you guys have.
Yeah, I can see Luis has been busy answering some questions in the chat, but let's read them out. Let's talk about it. Cool. So I think starting from Gabriel's first one, are we able to make CSV uploads available on Metabase embedded? So I guess if you're embedding a dashboard.
Yeah, I didn't answer this one because I'm not 100% sure if this is full app embedding or we are calling interactive embedding. I believe it is available, but I'm not 100% sure. Do you know, Ryan?
Yeah, I think that's going to, there's just a lot of different ways to embed Metabase. So if it's full app embedded and you have permissions set up in such a way that the embedded user has permissions, data permissions on the schema and collection permissions, I believe it will work. If it's public embedding, no, public users won't have the ability to upload CSVs.
Cool. Will the CSV upload functionality be supported for BigQuery at some point?
We have lots of ideas about CSV upload. We've talked about lots of ways to extend it and other databases. We really wanted to get it out into the wild and kind of get feedback from customers. So if you'd like to see BigQuery, absolutely submit an issue. And we love listening to what our customers want next. And it's on the table, but no specific plans just yet.
Yeah, our plans for now is to gather feedback, understand how the feature is behaving, what are the immediate improvements that we should make, but it's totally on the table to expand to other drivers as we move forward with this feature.
Nice one. Cool. Once we created different tabs and opened the dashboard, does Metabase calculate all questions that appear on the dashboard or only the tab we're actually viewing?
Yeah, it's only the viewed tab. So if you have heavy queries on a tab that's not visible, they won't be run until you switch to that tab.
Nice. Yeah, another tabs question. Is there an ETA on being able to move questions between tabs without having to delete and add them again?
I don't think we have an ETA, but that feature is strongly desired by me among other people. So I know it's on the radar.
Yeah, I know that we prioritized this very recently for this next major release. So unless obviously things can go wrong, but on the status quo is to ship this feature in the next major release.
Cool. I would also appreciate that one. After we upload CSV and make a question from it, is it possible to add more rows related to the CSV? So if there's an update, we don't need to remake the question.
That answer is not right now. That's also one of the CSV improvements that's on the table, and I'd love to see as well.
Do we know when this version will be available for cloud customers? I believe very soon.
Yeah, very soon. We already started to upgrade some cloud instances to 47. So we are evaluating if everything is stable. There are no major problems, but likely in the next few days we'll see everyone on 47.
Cool. All right, next question. Does the card disappear even when sending the dashboard by email? I'm not sure I get that one.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure about the answer to that one. Do you know, Luis?
This is for the auto hide cards when there are no results. Pretty sure it does. Yeah. I remember we covered this case. Yes.
Cool. Can we make it so that when we add a new question to a dashboard with tabs, a pop-up appears asking which tab we want to add it to, instead of it automatically going to the first tab?
Yeah, this is part of this project that we have already designed to improve moving cards between tabs and also adding cards to tabs. So yeah, we have kind of a new way of adding cards to questions to dashboards that make this more explicit. Like we need to actually choose which tab we want to add them.
Cool. Got quite a lot of questions coming in here, which is great. Keep them coming. Next one from Nicholas is there plans to add more formatting functionality to custom issues? Issues I currently experience is every word in the action parameter being capitalized and not being able to include question marks.
I'm not aware of that being on the actions roadmap. Do you know what's next for actions, Luis?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you have any plans specific for this. We have some plans to improve some UX around actions, but not on the parameterization part. So maybe this is more like a bug than a feature request. So maybe if there is a link for any issue, maybe we can take a look to understand what's going on there.
Cool. This next one is a two-parter. For dashboards, number one, can we export them as PDF? Oh, wait, sorry, it's a three-parter. If yes, and if we have 2+ tabs on this dashboard, will the PDF include all tabs or one at a time? Let's take that one first.
Yeah, so PDF exports for dashboards happen one tab at a time. So if you have 5 tabs, you'll need to make 5 exports and combine them currently.
Cool. So the third question is, can we export the dashboard as XLSX?
I'm not quite sure what an Excel. So the answer is no. We don't support dashboard exports as Excel because I'm not quite even sure what that would look like. as far as putting visualizations in an Excel sheet. We do support spreadsheet exports for individual questions.
Cool. Next one. We use static embedding at the moment, but unfortunately the PDF download feature is not included in the iframe. Is there a workaround way to allow users to download PDF?
That's a good question that I don't know the answer to, but if you have already submitted an issue, link that to us in the chat, or if you haven't, create a GitHub issue for that. I think we'd love to look at if that's possible.
Yeah, there's no reason to not allow this, so we need to figure out what's going on.
The next question is more of a request for Ryan, I think. Is it possible to see the apply button again? I didn't understand how to use it.
Yeah, for sure. If we go back to our dashboard, maybe this is a little clearer if we have multiple filters. So I'll add a date filter. We'll do a date range filter, and we'll add this here. So I will uncheck the auto apply, which was the only option previously. So if you look at my quarterly revenue question, I can now filter it by, maybe we'll just make it, October 2023. And so you can see my data didn't update there because I also want to see only business plans. My data still didn't update until I click apply, and now my data will update. Apparently I have, there's only one data point of revenue for October 2023. This is just helpful for, especially when you have multiple filters and multiple questions. You're not rerunning a bunch of useless queries until you're sure your filter parameters are correct.
Cool. Yeah, hopefully that helped. Okay, for homepage dashboards, what would the behavior be for users who do not have permissions on a specific card questions in the dashboard? Is there a way to set view permissions on the homepage dashboards?
Go ahead, Luisa.
Yeah, so we will respect the permissions as the dashboard was in a collection. So we'll check if the user has access to that collection and to that underlying data. So if the user doesn't have access to the collection, we will show the previous homepage as the homepage that we have today. If they don't have access to specific cards, then we will show we can't show you these cards because we don't have permissions for the cards that they don't have access to. So yeah, the way to set view permissions on the homepage is basically adding the dashboards to a collection and control the permissions to that collection.
Cool. All right. Is there a plan to attach PDF attachments of the dashboard instead of Excel sheets in email subscription? Or even better, showing the PDF formatted content in the email?
Yeah, so this is a long way. Today, the PDF is generated in the front end. So that's why if you resize your screen, you see that the PDF export kind of changes with the size of your screen. We have the long-term goal of supporting PDFs on the backend that we can send on email or Slack or any message system. But today we don't have a reliable way of generating these PDFs in the backend. So we are working in that direction, but it will be some time until get there.
Alrighty, we've got another tab question here. Are there separate permissions for tabs within dashboards? i.e., can a team member view the dashboard but only certain tabs?
Yeah, not for now. And I don't think we have plans to add permissions to specific tabs unless this becomes a very like demanded feature, but the idea is that it's not meant to control access, but rather to organize the content and improve performance.
Is there any improvement around the appearance of chats and email subscriptions?
We are always improving a bit the appearance of these, like fixing some bugs, but we have like some larger initiatives to make them better, but I don't have a lot to share right now. Hopefully in the next few releases we'll have some better news on here on the email subscription.
Cool. I just saw this next one was answered in the chat, but we'll talk about it anyway. Will the supply filters be available on the embedded iframe?
I think so, right? So most of these things should behave very similar on the embedded or the app. I don't remember testing this specifically for the iframe, but I don't see a reason why this wouldn't work.
Yep, someone in the chat just said that they tried it and it works. So that's cool to see. Thank you for the real-time testing. All right, next one. Is it possible to change the location of CSV stored database later? For example, if we connect to 3 databases, this time I need to store it in the first database and later need to add the CSV to the second database.
Yeah, so currently we only have one destination for CSV uploads, but if you change it, all new uploads will go to the changed place. We won't move existing tables that we've created, but it should be very easy to change the schema if you need to put things in different places.
Cool. This last one is a request. Do we want to take requests now? Open up the request line. I'll read it out again. So George asked, would you think it's possible at some point to add percentage columns while generating pivot tables, like percentage that we have in pie chart?
Yeah, so this is a very common ask, like percentage and also change over time, right? If you have a time series and you want to know the change over time. So yes, we have some plans, but we are still discussing internally what's the right way of doing this. There are some different ways that we could implement this feature, and we didn't kind of agree on what's the best approach for us. But yeah, that's something that we want to do, but we didn't get consensus on the design yet, so it's kind of in the works.
Cool. All right, new question. If we have, let's say, 3 filters in a dashboard and we want to hide one of them for a specific group of users, what is the best way to accomplish that?
I'm not sure if that's possible. I'm not the biggest expert on permissions. Louise, do you know if that would be possible?
Yeah, I don't think this is possible. I'm not entirely sure what would mean to hide, like it would disappear for one group. Like we have something like this for embedding, like you can create a dashboard filter and hide it from your end users, and like to control access for a particular dashboard. But for the internal, like for internal users who are signed in Metabase, we don't have a mechanism to hide the filters.
I will say maybe one way to accomplish something similar is one new feature in Metabase 47 that I did not demo is we actually have the ability to maybe I don't have it set up on this instance. Actually, no, we have impersonated database permissions. So if you set up permissions on the database level such that user groups only had access to the subset of data that you want them, that could kind of make that filter less important or not matter if they only have the correct access to the underlying data. But not exactly sure the use case that we're asking about here.
Cool. That's the last of the questions for now, unless anyone has any last minute burning questions they want to sneak in before the end. Oh, we do. Oh, same question. For hiding only one question from a dashboard for a specific group of users. That's a follow-up to the previous question.
That's actually, I don't know about the question level, but you could definitely block access to a question via the underlying data permissions or collection permissions. I don't know if the kind of elegant hiding behavior handles questions where your access is blocked. Do you know that, Louise?
Yeah, if you add the question that's in another collection and restrict access to that collection, and add the question to another dashboard that's in another collection, you can simulate this kind of behavior and use the hide feature to hide the question as it doesn't return any results.
All right. Any more questions? I think we've used up everyone's question power. Satisfied everyone's inquisitivity. Is that a word? Is now. Cool. Well, if we've covered everything that you're interested in 47, then I think maybe we can wrap it up. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you to Luis and Ryan for demoing, for answering questions, for your general wisdom, knowledge, expertise.
Yeah,
cool.
And we are really interested on any feedback on 47. So if you have anything, please write to us. I will leave my email here if you want to give feedback. And yeah, we from the product team are always want to talk to our customers. So if anyone wants to schedule a chat, yeah, just ping me and then we can talk.
Awesome. Alrighty then. Thank you again, and have a great day, evening, wherever you are. Till next time.
All right.
Bye.